Good evening, everybody. Let's see who's in the chat. We've got Marianne Bimler, Linda Peterson, Mike Stanford, and Rebel at Heart. That's Kelly. We got Bill from My Alaska, Evelyn Newman, Tony, our cabin in the acres. In the woods, not in the acres. There's Heather Lansgren. Good evening. Evelyn Newman. How's everybody doing this morning? Bailey. Oh, you're going to come right up on it. I thought you were going to. That's great. That's awesome. Hold on for just a moment. Let's see. We got DJ Turneroo and Lori's Prepping for Heaven. There's Hiking with Jackie Boy. And my buddy Chris. That's Adventure Awaits. If you haven't gone and checked out our videos on our hiking trip, go check that out, please. That was just, what was the last week I released that? And then there's Grilling Addiction with Nick. And Joe Jacobson. So we already got somebody in the chat. In the green room, are you ready? Or tell me when you're ready and I'll bring you up. I don't know if you can hear me. B and Us Odyssey is in here, and so is Arlene. Good evening. There's Tim Costello. Yeah. We got two makers in here already. There's let's see, there's Petty Jean River Homestead. That's Bobby. And Tim Mason. Thunderstick Homestead and Ministries. So that would be cool. We'd have two lathe turners up here if Tim Costello comes in too. It'd be an interesting conversation. I haven't even touched a lathe yet, but I know I'm going to get into it. I've been wanting one for a long time. But he left. I hope that was just he'll try again, right? Dexter's right next to me. Yep, he's right in the chair next to me. There's Barbara Hopkins. Oh, there's the Tim Mason. Or I'm sorry, Costello. Hey there, how you doing?
Fabulous. Brian, how are you?
Pretty good. So I've been in and out of your chat for a while, but just recently I really started getting into it. And so I asked you to come and be in the chat. Just a minute, Bailey. Can you hear me all right now, Bailey? You're okay. So that's cool. We're gonna have two turners on tonight. So yeah, I've just recently asked you to come on my live and tell us about your channel and what you do. You and your wife both. Your wife does other things as well too, right?
Yeah. So I am. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not as familiar with what your wife does as what you do because you're most of
my wife and I own together a company called Leopard Leatherworks. And it's a company I started a while ago because I do a bunch of leather working as long as around the pen turning. So there is a craft out there that popped up a few years ago, and it is probably about 13, 14 years ago. And it is called diamond painting. And essentially you take these little plastic spots. They call them drills, but it's also called diamonds. and you place them on a pre-adhesive canvas with a pattern on it. And of course, all of these little things you're putting on this canvas are colored. So it's sort of like paint by number meets cross stitch meets something physical. And my wife started this part of our little business about a year and a half ago, and it has exploded to where I do less leather now and more pens. So I also do ink pens and pencil sets, and I do knives. I buy the blades, but I actually use the resin things that we mix up, which are really cool patterns in different colors, and make that the knife handle. And then I make the sheath for it because I'm a leather worker. So this thing starts out with my wife started a business, and I got a job I didn't apply for. I don't get paid, and I can't quit. Now, on the side, I'm also a hypnotist, and I help people clear childhood trauma. Now, beyond that, because that's a little fun thing, and that's a giant topic in and of itself, I also work for another company, my day job, do 60 hours a week, where I'm a high-tech retail consultant. So people doing a lot of loss prevention, checkouts, vision-based checkouts, that type of stuff. Some of my clients are the Schwarz Group, and the Schwarz Group is somebody not many of us know because they're a German company, but they're Germany's largest retailer, and they operate a store called Lidl. There are some Lidls on the East Coast of the U.S., probably about 150. Now, my wife in our business does all the shipping, the selling, and right now she's online selling blanks that I'll turn into a pen. And you know, it's funny, Brian, we never intended to have a YouTube channel, right? It was just sort of a, hey, let's start turning pens and have people watch me turn pens. And it collects a crowd. And there's, 30 to 50 people there every time I'm turning pens, watching and talking.
Well, just a second. You can continue talking, but are you ready to come up, Bailey? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's at least have him up here while you're talking.
Hello, Bailey.
Hello. Hello. Chris is my first name.
Hello, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having
You're
me
the
on.
local celebrity, huh? That's awesome.
Yes. In my
I
own
love
mind,
it.
anyway. Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Nice haircut, by the way.
Thank you.
Hey,
I actually have hair right here though,
I keep a head on it.
but I have my pajamas on, so I have my hair up.
There you go.
Oh.
And he's a comedian at night.
So are either one of you familiar with each other's channels?
No,
Nope.
never heard of Bailey Woodworks, but I'm going to go look him up now.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. So let's take a moment and talk to Bailey, Chris Bailey.
Yeah.
And how did you get? Now you've been doing this for a year, right? Or is it you that were doing it for a year?
4
I've
years.
been doing it about 20 months.
20 months?
Yeah. I started during COVID.
I guess I started just after COVID.
Yeah. I was watching videos of wood turning and carving and all that. And then the government came through with those incentive checks. And I was like, I'm going to do it instead of watch it. So that's when I bought my lathe and all the tools and started out.
Yeah. Mine's on order.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Watch out, man. It's so addicting.
Yes.
Good, because I need to be addicted to something good. So did either one of you happen to bring at least a couple show and tell so you can display what
I have all kinds of stuff.
All right. Well, let's start. Do you have a couple tops you want to show first?
I have a whole box of them. And these are some of the ones that I've made for the live streams.
Yeah.
First of all, like right now, anybody who wants to start, I need to find my camera. Anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel, now's the time. Like there's so much you can do with the shorts, live videos, and now this vertical live stream that you can get subscribers so fast and a lot of watch time. But one thing I do is I make these just simple spinning tops, and I have the chat pick out the colors. And that gets engagement right away, because you can get 20,000 people in an hour-long live, and they're in for an average of 30 seconds. So the more I can get them in for maybe a minute and a half or something like that, just by picking.
How many do you get? How many did he say?
What's that?
Did you say 20,000?
Yeah, I'll get 20 or 30,000 views in an hour.
That's because it runs through the short feed.
It goes through the shorts feed. Yeah.
That's new.
Yeah, teach me that. That's awesome.
It's just a live stream with your phone vertical. That's all it is. And YouTube sticks it into the shorts feed.
I don't even use my phone.
That is awesome, but it is a downfall that it's the vertical. I do it in the
so you can do OBS. There's a way to do it on OBS. I haven't figured it out. I want to do vertical and horizontal at the same time. That's my next thing. But yeah, so all these tops I've made on the channel, and then some other of my favorite ones. This one has a shell in it.
I'll be right back and grab some samples.
Yeah.
You sure do that.
This one, it has a shell and resin with a wood handle. This one I made on the channel recently. It's just clear resin. And then these two, this is a pair.
I saw that one in your live. I like that.
They're like sparkly. Those are my favorites.
Metal flake.
I've tried to make these kind that you throw on the ground, but I cannot get them to spin. So I'm still working on that. There's something
those on the Titanic.
Yeah.
They did. There's a couple pictures of kids.
Is there on the real Titanic? Yeah. I can't figure out how to. It's either I'm not spinning it right or I'm not making them right.
Let me catch up with the chat real quick. We got Ann Dale in here. Good evening. She's one of my faves. She's a sweetheart. We got JP Woodwork came in.
JP Woodwork came in.
That's awesome. He was in your live.
Yeah. He's in the UK. That's like 2 a.m.
He said it would be 3 a.m.
2 or 3.
Come into my live.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming in, everyone. This is on top of the homesteading community. This is another avenue I wanted to explore, was in the makers community. And for the two of you, there's only a handful of maker videos that I have, but I do have like cornhole boards and that star thing in the back. I should have brought that up there. Can you see that? Oh, that's way back there. I'll bring it up in a bit. But I've always been an artist and made stuff, but for the last, I don't know, 15 years, I've been working on house reconstruction and stuff, and just totally got away from making stuff. And I'm dying to get back into it.
That can wear on you, yeah.
So that's my spiel. Let's see what he brought with us, and we'll go back to you again. We'll go back and forth and get it all.
I started turning or becoming an artist when I turned 61 and a half.
Yeah.
So I never turned a thing in my life. Now, I had a garage, table saw, joiner, planer, drum sander, dust collection, you name it, I had it, right? I was going to have this big woodworking career like Jay Bates or something like that. And then all of a sudden, this pen business took off. I sold everything off, and now I've got one lathe and lots of pressure pots and acrylics and resins and all this kind of stuff. So here's what I do day in and day out. Let me get rid of this background here. You guys can see my guitar.
See, now that's what I would hope to do, is be able to narrow in on one thing I really like to do.
So this is a diamond painting pen. It has holes on either end, a 7/32 inch hole, and you put this tip in there like that. And that thing there, you'll fill with, where's that, wax or putty in the tip there. and then that picks up the drills out of your tray and you put them on the canvas. So this is a blank. I actually poured the resin. Oh, how do you get it? There you go. I poured the resin and then turned the blank into a pen.
Nice.
And then here's one here. This is my wife's favorite one. It's called a flipper because it's so short. And now we're doing these, instead of the pushing ends, we're doing these screwing ends. So you got a grommet on the inside of there. And now these are screwing in like that so that it doesn't come loose or whatever. And then you can diamond paint. This is a multi-placer, so you can place a whole bunch of drills. And that one you can do just one on. And then here's another one here that I did up. This one's got little snowflakes in it.
Oh, that's cool.
See, now when you were doing this, I meant to ask you because I really didn't understand how they were different than pens, like people were turning, and those are different. I mean,
yeah, because there's no ink in it, right? It's just got a tip in it that you use.
Wow.
And then here's another one.
Do you have anything that you wrote or like,
oh, that's cool. I like that one.
Anything that you've done with those pens?
I don't do the artwork myself. I don't actually diamond paint. My wife does like mad. And if you go on diamond painting, it's out there everywhere. Now, here's a couple of pens I just made. So this is a regular ink pen that you would twist.
Okay.
That's
on the top cap there, and then you would write with it. And it's just one of these really cool blanks.
It sure is. You wouldn't have to have that honeycomb one you did the other day, do you?
I know it's actually shipped out.
Oh, really? That was
I can grab a blank though, and the blank, is square. But then here's another pen I did. It's called a Big Ben. Another twist pen comes out. Wow. It's got a Parker style refill in it, kind of deal. There's the pen out there now, retracted. So
nice.
So literally, I have created, made, sold, turned, whatever you want to call it, 1,800 pens in the last 20 months.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, it has skyrocketed.
That's crazy.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So when you're watching me, Brian, I'm 120 orders behind right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I have to turn every weekend about 25 hours.
Wow.
Just to stay 5 weeks or 6 weeks behind. It's insane. Insane. I couldn't imagine.
See, that's what you're going to be doing with your tops before too long.
No, I don't sell anything, so I don't have to worry about being behind.
Okay, they'll be asking you to give them away at that rate.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take 20,000 of those, please.
Yeah.
If they're free.
Now, Chris, I went to Rockler one day, and they were selling this little device that spins and has a little cutter edge on it. And this guy was making tops, and he was holding it against there. And as it would go around, it would cut this little groove in there after they dyed it. So it had like this contrasting look. I can't remember the name of that tool, but I'm going to look it up. And if I can find it, I'll send you a link. But man, it really made the tops look wild.
Huh. That's cool.
Yep. Some kind of little cutter that rotates.
Okay. Oh, like yeah, you were talking about that, Brian. The texture tools.
Yes.
Looks like a gear.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Nice. Those are cool.
They do some really neat stuff. Yeah.
This lathe is taking too long to get to me.
and believe me, after you get your lathe, you'll buy another $1,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah, don't.
Maybe not that much.
I did.
I make a lot of my tools.
Ah, nice.
I started out with the bowl gouges and the some of the stuff I bought because you can't make the curved stuff, or I can't anyway. But the flat stuff I get steel from work. Mm-hmm. Just scrap metal stuff. I'm an engineer during the week, and then nights I like to just do stuff with my hands because I don't get that opportunity.
Nice.
So yeah, and I've made.
He's up late. He'll do what? Sometimes he does it early live, and then he'll like go to bed and then get up and say, "I might as well do a live."
If I can't sleep, I go down to the workshop. I've made some pens. I only make the slimline pens. Mm-hmm. My wife and I run a group of teens. We have 30 teens, this year, and it's through the Nazarene Church, and it's a choir, and we travel around once a month to different churches in the district and lead worship. And every year, the seniors, I'll make them a pen from some piece of wood or something that happened during the year that's memorable to them. So I've only made slimlines though. I don't get into anything fancy.
Yeah, I've been every single pen I turn, it sells online. That's the minute I make it. It's amazing.
Okay.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment here. There is Bailey's link to his channel. Thank you, Heather. And
oh yeah, thank you.
Others have put it up too. And here's thank you, Chris, for putting up.
Yes, JP, I definitely go to cartoons. You bet. I love cartoons. I'm subscribed to his Blank of the Month club.
I imagine.
I'm starting to realize the connection between some of these makers now, and it's exciting me because, like JP is in there, and I've been subscribed to him for a while.
The wood turners are pretty close. There's not that many, so it's easy to know most of them.
And you know what's funny is the only wood thing I've turned is a pen. I've not turned any bowls yet, no plates, no Harry Potter wands, nothing. Which I want to do, but I just haven't done it yet.
I want to make a bat. That's why I got the 20-inch extension on mine. So
you got the extension?
Yeah.
So I don't make wands. I try to avoid that. And maybe it's being in the church, but if I do,
the conductors use wands.
Yeah. And I have made them. I just specify they're non-magic.
Oh, I don't believe in magic. I just think they're cool looking wands.
For entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
I'm also a very religious guy, and I don't do magic. I don't believe in magic, but I want to do wands because they look so neat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're fun. And like tops, they're all different.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a conductor use your wand? Up there leading the choir or leading the orchestra, and he's using the wand you made him? That's awesome.
Yes, that would be neat.
It's funny you say that you don't use the pens that you make. Like you've never, I'm sure you've tested one or something.
I have one pen. I mean, I write with every pen that I make, and I have one pen that is mine that I use when I diamond paint. But when I diamond, now most of the canvases for diamond painting are, 24 by 18 or 36 by 12 or, just all different kind of sizes. And there's these little ones that are just little 3x5 card size ones. And I've done about 6 of those in the last 18 months. So I have diamond painted, but I don't diamond paint much.
Yeah. Well, there's kind of a little joke with the people that I know is I've made two cornhole board that I spent hours and hours and hours making, but I've never played cornhole.
You've never played cornhole?
Never played cornhole.
I played 6 rounds.
And I took it to the event because I made, I was talking to you, weren't I, Tim, about the Mid-America meetup?
Yes.
Now you're local to that, aren't you?
I know. I didn't even know it.
So next year you're going to go to it, huh?
I got to get the details, and we're going somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's like May. It's at the end of May.
Yep.
That last weekend in May, I believe. And sure, that would be cool because you said that's like Eufaula.
Well, I follow a lot of homesteaders here in Oklahoma and Arkansas.
I know you've mentioned several that I know, and you probably do know all of them. So,
but I can't homestead very much on my 10,000 square foot lot.
So, people in the chat, he's been creeping on your channels. We do have somebody else in the chat or the green room. Are you ready, Bowen?
Nice.
Hey, Bowen, how you going? How are you doing this evening?
Doing all good. Doing all right. How you doing,
him up at the top, and this is Chris at the bottom.
Hey, Beaux, nice hat.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I just thought I would come up for a minute. Y'all were talking about wands, you
Yeah.
know, and my theory is, I'm known to, for those who don't know, I do little devotionals and things like that on Sundays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
But I digress. I don't think there's anything wrong with making a wand, air quote, on a lady and selling it.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
obviously we have made it on a lady and we understand that it's an inanimate wooden object.
Yeah,
You
it's a
see what
big
I'm
toothpick.
saying? Right. But maybe I'll buy it because I want a wand.
There you go.
One.
Sorry.
Chris, he needs a wand. And
All
you're
right.
doing more wood than I am.
We'll do it.
Yeah, I've been a Harry Potter fan since I was little. But anyhow, that's it.
Very
Enough
nice.
about me.
All right.
Got you.
We'll make a couple wands.
Well, it's always nice to see you, Bowen.
Thanks for having me up, guys.
So
Good night.
you're leaving?
No, I'll hang out for a minute.
I was gonna say you just got in here.
He's
You're
going to be in the green room eating all the M&Ms.
Hey,
I'll be drowning in the basement.
those are for everybody.
But I want a lady.
Yeah. Well, why don't you? You've worked on forging, and what did you say you were working on this week, Bowen?
So, I don't know what I
Drywall.
said. I say a lot of things.
You say a lot of things.
But right now, we got, I don't want to spill any beans. It's been so long since I even had beans. I don't want to spill any. I do a lot of wood axe handle restoration. So I
nice.
got, so a while back, I don't know, I did these wild hairs. I'll get really involved in a hobby. And I got really involved in buying axe heads. The old antique axe heads off of like eBay.
That's cool.
Bowen,
Yeah.
I just got one today. A keen cutter. You know
They're
what a
hard
keen
to
cutter
find.
is?
Yeah.
I just got one off of eBay. It arrived today. An old rusty axe head.
Nice. So I restore the heads and I do handles. So I would like a lady to maybe try a handle. But I don't even know if that's possible. Can you make handles?
It is. Hey, do you know? Do you do much Twitch? Do you watch Twitch?
No. I know what it is.
There's a guy on Twitch called the Yankee Axe, and all he does is make axe and hatchet handles and stuff.
Okay. I'm going to have to check that out.
He's very cool.
You know what I want to do
Years
that I've
since
seen.
I messed with that.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Brian?
What I have seen online is people making wooden axes. The whole thing is wood.
Wood
And there
axe?
A wood axe, and there are some hardwoods that can be sharp enough to actually chop.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I would have thought, yeah, because I looked it up because I wanted to make a wood axe because I did a drawing of an axe and I thought that would be cool wall hanging even if it wasn't a real axe.
Oh, yeah.
So I looked up wood axes and there's just like them doing tops. There's wood axe people that make stuff all the time.
That's
You
cool.
know it.
All right. Speaking of hardwood, did you know in why the islanders there have hardwoods that they use to make spears to hunt pigs.
Yeah.
There's no
I believe
iron.
it.
There's no iron on the spear. It's just
Yeah.
a wooden spear.
There's some of those woods in the desert, in the real dry areas, can get super hard, like Australia especially. Really hardwoods with a lot of minerals in them, and you can really shape them and sharpen them up. Really hard to turn
Some
them
of
on
the first arrow or the first arrows were wood, wouldn't they have been?
I'm sure before they got iron, and they used rocks for arrowheads.
Yeah.
Hey
And
there,
Bob.
James Paul and Todd Leginus, Wanda Henry. Anybody else that I've missed? I don't
James
know.
Hall.
Yep, James Hall. There's Gillum Farms, Outdoors
Hey,
and
Johnny.
More. That's his new channel. For those of you who haven't gone and subscribed to his other channel, we're talking.
Todd is in. He was in my live. Australian Ironwood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize Johnny.
You bet, James. Flint and obsidian. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our Louisiana life is in here too. Good evening. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
So one thing, Brian, about wood turning is everybody thinks how many bowls you can make. Like
I'll be
you've
right
seen
back.
somebody make a bowl, you've seen them all, but there's so much more you can make. I like making toys.
Yeah.
And so I made like this hammer and nails for this little girl that we watch. She's
Nice.
1.5. And just, stuff like that. Little boxes. Kids love boxes. Everybody loves little boxes. Those are so fun. And I made that game Pickup Sticks. Did you ever see that? I turned these on a lathe, and that was really hard when you get.
You
Pretty
turn the
thin.
sticks on the lathe?
Wow.
Yeah. And then I put like different shapes. So they're all different, shaped a little bit different, but all that. There's so much you can make. It's not a bowl or a cup. I even made crochet hooks from
Nice.
sticks.
Yep.
That is the thing, is I don't know what I want to do first, but I do know that I'll be getting it just at the right time to start doing some Christmas ornaments. So I guess I'll start there.
Nice.
Yeah, people love snowmen and Christmas trees.
Hey, Chris, have you heard of a fellow named Dick Schnacky?
No.
He's dead now, but he was a West Virginia toy maker out of wood.
Okay.
This is his book.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
And you can get one on eBay. There's a few floating around, but I met this guy at a West Virginia State Fair back in the 70s. My mom was an artist, and he was there with his booth selling a bunch of kids' toys. And when you put those pickup sticks in that hammer thing, I'm like, man, that's right up Dick Schnacky's alley.
Yeah. I just love that.
Here's a good question that both of you, either one of you or all three of you could probably answer is if you take like a book like you just showed and you demonstrate building one of those projects on your channel, is there any kind of copyright issues you have to think about?
I don't
I
think
doubt
so.
it.
From a book?
It's a pretty common toy.
Yeah. So if there's something specifically that I've seen, I'll try to put like a link in the description and I'll mention it that I saw it somewhere. But yeah, I guess I've got stuff off the internet and I try to give credit.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, when I first started seeing you do tops, you were the first one that I've seen do tops. And I thought,
Okay.
oh man, I would love to do that, but he's doing them. And then
I don't.
so I look it up and there's everybody and their grandmother is doing tops.
Yeah. No, there's no copyright on tops.
So
But
like,
it's putting your own twist on it.
for
Yeah.
example, I got raised beds, and I mention them in the video, and I told how to build them, and I said I saw this from a YouTuber. I didn't mention their name. There's a reason for that. When I went and did my due diligence to find out about how to build these beds, there are multiple videos on the same thing. Therefore, I was like, okay, she saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know, I don't need to worry about getting crazy, you know. Because if it's something you need, then yeah, somebody should get credit. But if it's not, if it's, you know, what would you call that? Public domain, you know, then, you know, that's why I said what I said.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say I came up with it, but, you know.
There's nothing wrong with variation on a theme.
Yeah.
Right.
Because let's say you take a Tonka truck from the 70s and you restore it. You don't really have to give credit to the Tonka truck company.
Right.
Wow. There's some good channels that do that.
Why,
They
yeah.
get really good views.
I watch all that stuff.
I love that stuff.
I
So
love
I know.
anything that's restoration or making.
So
Yeah.
I know. I don't remember. It's been years. Because I used to do, the axe thing. And I would watch Johnny Risto, JR. I don't know. This guy would restore specifically S-Wing and stuff like that. I don't remember the channel name. But yeah, that was fun. Fun to watch. Watching somebody take an old junk object and bring back the new, no matter who it is.
At home with Tom and Rhonda are in here. Good evening. And so is Let's Trade Paint. That's Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Thanks for coming in.
So I went and grabbed one of the knives that I make, and this is a prototype. So you put it on your belt at a 45-degree angle so you can pull it out from the left or the right. And I buy the handle at Woodcraft, and I make the actual resin-based handle.
So you bought the blade and then you
I bought the blade.
Is the blade cut already, or do you grind it?
No, the blade is 100% finished and done.
Okay. Nice.
And you
So
get
they
it all
call
the way
that-
the tang up there, and I apply this stuff around there with the brass pins and things
brass
like that.
pins. That's nice.
I don't have a forge, and I can buy the blade for like $14.95.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
They Holland.
And then I cut the leather out on my laser machine. So I designed this one, and it just goes right in, and it's wet molded to the blade, so the blade can't come out.
It snap.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Chris Bailey. Let's talk a little bit about that fixative. What now that you did it and you saw it dry, what did it do? What was it like?
I need to try to use it as a finish coat and see if it is if it'll just finish the paint. I don't know. I need to look more into it.
From what I understand, the design of it is like if you're using watercolor, or because it makes it like it makes your surface like paper, kind of. I mean, not necessarily absorbent like paper, but so it takes graphite or whatever like paper.
So they put the fixative on first.
I've seen it used for several things, like when people do miniatures and they want to do like different layers so that they don't bleed. Like, say you were doing a soldier, painting a soldier, and they don't want the one color to blend with the other one, they fix it and that locks it in, and then they can put the next layer on.
Okay.
But also, like with charcoal drawings, you don't want it getting all muddy and stuff. You want to fix it and then start another layer, or watercolors as well.
Yeah, I need to try that because I think I won't need to do the super glue with the fixative. I think I would use the colored pencils and then spray that on and just leave it.
I was going to suggest you put it on before you do any color.
Or try it before, yeah. Because sometimes the wood's so shiny, like it won't take the colored pencils.
That might make it like a paper surface, so that it'll take it better.
Yeah.
That's all. I don't even know why I said. Oh, because you said that sometimes you had problems with your colored pencil bleeding when you went to go put the
with the super glue, and it'll the other thing is it like wipes itself off. The colored pencils, if you leave it on there long enough, I think it heats up, and that colored pencil is just like waxy. So if you leave it on too long, it puts the color on and then takes it back off. So I think that fixative will help give the texture a little bit different, so the color will stay on.
When those colors bleed like that, doesn't it also have kind of a cool quality to it?
I like it. There's one I did that. Hold on a second.
Wow, this hour's going fast.
This one I did the other night, and like the color just kind of faded in.
Almost
that one came out.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like translucent orange.
It almost looks like you did it out of cork, or at least the broad edge.
Yeah, it's black walnut. So the sapwood on walnut is lighter than the heartwood. So you can see it's starting to get into the heartwood over here.
Oh, don't brush it.
Figure out my left is right, right's left, right?
I like that one.
So the sapwood's lighter than the heartwood over here.
So one thing I was going to suggest to you, because apparently I suggest a couple of things and you went and got them, so you might as well get one more. The DeWitt watercolors, colored pencils. Those are actually designed to work with watercoloring.
Oh, with water. Okay.
I mean, you can make it you could use it as a pencil, but also you can manipulate it along with watercolors. And I thought that might be cool, because if you put it on your top and then you put the glue on it like you do, it might actually have this real watery,
bleed it like a tie-dyed or something,
or like a watercolor.
Yeah,
the way they blend. That's the suggestion.
I'm always looking for ideas for. You can only make so many tops.
Well, you see, when everybody who's in the chat and stuff, when he does one of his lives, it's cool, because it's not about looking at him, it's about looking at his project and how he's doing it. And he'll pump out about 4, maybe 5 tops.
4 or 5, yeah, at most.
So it moves, and it's constantly just interesting to watch. It's like hot candy.
Yeah.
And when do you do your lives?
So that's something I need to work on, because everybody's like, what's your schedule? And I don't have a schedule right now. It's when I'm allowed to go into the workshop. So usually late at night. Like today was different. I was in there earlier, but yeah, just whenever I feel like it. So it's hard to tell. I need to get a more scheduled show, I guess.
Yeah.
Usually in the evenings, and you've been doing it at least 5 nights out of the week, right?
Yeah, that was a little much. Probably 3 or 4 nights would be good. Like tonight, I was on for an hour and 20 minutes. I got 40 subscribers. It had about 10,000 views. I'm like, if you're doing a YouTube channel, now's the time to do it.
Well, the thing of it is, the way you're doing your lives, if you get a subscriber, you pretty much lock that in because that's what they come for. I mean, that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
So,
See, here's the thing.
I watch it every time I see it.
I don't do vertical lives. I'm not going to deal with all the riffraff that comes in.
Right. Oh, that's a huge thing.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why I wanted to get you in person and talk to you.
Yeah.
You need to put it on subscriber mode or find more people. I was blocking them, and then I was these guys are going to come after me on my channel.
No. I have a computer behind me.
Out a little bit.
I have a computer behind me, and if I see it, I'll take them out. I have another channel that I moderate with, but there's a couple guys that moderate in there. But yeah, that's a problem. I don't want to do subscribers only because I'm afraid I'll lose new people.
Yeah.
That want to chat.
Yeah.
What is it you're limiting? I sort of lost what we're limiting or watching out for.
So in the vertical lives, there's people that just thumb through. You're just like constantly thumbing through, and there is a lot of garbage.
For example,
so when you get a channel that's showing something half interesting, like you stick with it because there's not a lot there.
For example.
Right.
So and there's a lot of people trolling and putting in pretty bad comments.
For example.
Oh yeah.
My lives are Christian content.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if I go vertical, because I did the comments, so I know if I go vertical, I have an idea of what that would do. I would get a bunch of just hateful, you do you. If you're not a Christian, okay.
He is, though, and he gets it.
Yeah.
He's very much into the...
In the live, you're going to get a bunch of hateful people. In my case, unfortunately, I know not everybody's bad. A bunch of Muslims that are not nice.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you need moderators to block things so you can get on with your show or your whatever. And you don't have to worry about the chat.
Christine, Mrs. Gillen Farms is in here. Hello.
Yeah.
And who else? Somebody. Oh, Bill is back. Or he's not back. He's been here the whole time. He just was quiet.
I like dealing with the chat though. I think I get a lot out of that too, and I'll try to.
I love chat.
Read Bible verses or pray for them. We do all kinds of stuff during the chat. So
yeah,
that's my discipleship.
And all three of you do very well with keeping up with
not
the
trolls.
Yeah,
I love chat.
They're fun in that respect too. Speaking of Chris Bailey putting out 5, 3, 4, 5 tops in a live. So does Tim. Tim, what do you usually do? About 2 or 3 or 2?
Usually about 3 to 3.5 pens an hour.
Holes on either end. A 7th.
Well, that was weird. I heard myself. But about 3.5 pens an hour, and I'll be on for 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Did you get?
I think that's the trend too, Tim. Is these long form people want to be in for hours long videos.
Yes.
Not everybody, but there is a market for that.
Well, my crowd is a dedicated crowd. I usually know who's there by name. That's why when the Vineyard Farmhouse popped in, I go, "Hello, Vineyard Farmhouse. Never seen you before."
Well, in Chris's live, what do you get, about 30 at a time while you're actually doing it, and you only get so many people are actually commenting, but you have you'll look up at the number of how many people are there, and it's usually like 120 or 130. But
Yeah.
they're silent. I mean, they're
Right.
not saying anything.
Yep. Just
That's why I
watching.
try to get, like, I'll say, let's get some colors from someone who hasn't talked in the chat yet.
My
Inevitably,
numbers,
somebody
Instead
talks.
of me all the time.
Yeah.
my numbers are not that high. I might have 10 people in the chat. Maybe. That's really about as high as I've seen.
My Wild Home is in here, and they bought an island. For those
They
of
got a
you
whole island.
that don't, for some of you that are new to the chat and this live, go check them out because they bought an island and they've got some interesting stuff going on too.
And who is that?
Melody, that's My Wild Home.
Ah, okay.
And then,
Somebody put their link up.
hold on. Well,
Well-
Melody can put her own link up. She
What's
has
that?
a ranch. Melody has a ranch. But I'll do it. Maybe.
What was
Oh,
it?
in one hand. Oh my gosh.
My Wild
But
Home.
anyway,
Really like the people on the panel. They make pens and tops and spin things on lathes. Pretty cool. And I know you have a enthusiasm for art.
yeah. I can't wait to get to know you guys.
Good.
Videos.
Me too.
Yeah, he'll show up. I know you show up in Wooden Things and stuff. And both of you know Wooden Things and stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget his
Do
name.
you, Tim?
I don't.
He's another one you want to know. He's pretty cool, and he does a
Yeah.
live on Saturday nights.
Yep. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I need to get him on here with one or two or all of you or whatever as well. That would be an awesome live.
Yeah. Or JP. Get JP on. It's a
JP?
little late for
Sure. Yeah, but he was in here for quite a bit of it. So
Yeah.
And what's it called? Wooden and things?
Wooden things and such, I think.
And stuff.
Wooden Things
And stuff.
and
Stuff.
stuff.
So I just want to say, Brian, if you'll let me, I
Here's
need
My
some
Wild Homes.
Mike's wooden stuff and things?
wooden. No, just wooden.
Wooden
stuff and
things and stuff. Cool.
Wooden stuff. And
He is
things.
Mike, though. His name is Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the link.
Dang.
Heather
Oh, I've
posted
seen him
that.
before.
Heather's
Cut
got
his nose.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
Well,
I am a YouTube wanderer.
I asked him to be
I'm
on
not.
tonight as well, and but he had a class. He teaches painting classes and lathe classes and certain things. But I guess once a month he does a Wednesday night. And of course, it had to be this week.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm closing in on 1,000 subscribers.
You're getting 1,000?
I'm closing in on it.
Okay.
Closing on 1,000, awesome.
He's a couple away, probably about 14, 15, 16 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
gee. I'll subscribe.
I
Yeah.
just did.
But yeah, I need watch hours.
Yeah, we're at about
Why don't you
630
Why
something
don't
now.
you give a rundown, Bowen, on your channel about your chickens and what you do? Give a synopsis to these two people what you do.
Yeah. So what I do is I teach people how to homestead with a disability. So my whole homestead, I'm able to run it from the wheelchair. So I got chickens, and I got a garden with raised beds. So I show how to do that.
Oh, wow.
And then I started a ministry. And I've been doing things for years, but I started the ministry on YouTube about 6 months ago. And so we started doing the live on Wednesdays and Sundays,
Okay.
giving lessons at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesdays normally is like a loose discussion, and Sundays is a detailed, in-depth lesson about something. You know, I don't go through the Bible, chronologically. Uh, yeah, just whatever lesson, whatever topic pops up is what we do on Sundays.
Nice. Okay.
Very inspirational. I love it.
But
Okay,
yeah, that's it.
to you, Chris and Tim. This is my channel is part of Wednesday night family night. So we've got channels going starting at like 5 o'clock all the way up through
11.
to me, and
Midnight.
then there's Old Man King Homesteads on after me as well.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
But it is we got people that watch all of them from start to finish all the way through the night.
That's awesome.
Like it was, back in the day when you watched Three's Company and you watched all the shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
Like,
Do you
I
have
know,
Is there a website with links or something in the schedule?
not yet.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. Because there's a mix of people doing them at the same hour too. So we've got at 5 o'clock, we got Leonard Mountain Homestead. The thing of it is you're not going to have the links. So, and everybody,
I go back and watch
I'm pretty
it.
sure everybody here knows all these channels and the night lineup, but I could talk to you privately about that if you want.
Yeah. You need to.
The guy in the
advertise
upper
that.
right.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
What's that?
But I got it out, y'all. Brian,
What?
you got it. You can handle the list. I helped you.
There's Leonard Mountain Homestead at 5 o'clock, and then you got Three Mississippi at 6 o'clock, and this is all
I
Sunday.
watch them. I like them.
Okay. So then you got, after that, you've got Pretty and Pooch. They're at the 7 o'clock hour. And then you got MT Homestead, and they're at the 8 o'clock hour. And I'm at 9 o'clock Central. And then there's Old Man King Homestead. And all the same people are in those chats, and they have a lot of fun on Wednesday night.
That's
I guess
awesome.
So
I'm not official. I'm not official in the Homestead hangout. But I go live Wednesdays at 4 p.m.
that's right. You do. And I'm at work all the time while you're on. Unfortunately, I never get to see it.
There's
But
always
you
reruns.
guys, what's that?
There's always reruns.
Yes, there is.
Replay.
So you guys can stay here for a little while, but I'm going to close out the live. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody that's in the chat. Thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate my moderators who protect my channel. And thank you to everybody that came in on panel.
Yeah,
Tim,
thanks.
Chris, and Bowen.
Thanks for having us in.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome
Appreciate
time.
it.
I really had a lot of fun. And I hope to see you guys on my channel some more.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Absolutely.
so we'll close this. You guys can stay right there, but I'm going to close out. So good night, everybody. Next week, Wednesday. Oh, next week, Wednesday is my birthday. So
Ooh.
I'm not going to make a big birthday thing out of it or anything. I'm just say it's my birthday on that day. And it happens to be on Wednesday. So
Happy birthday.
there you go.
Birthday next week.
Happy birthday.
So good night, everybody. Next week, Wednesday, 9 o'clock Central.